Make sure my audio is working. Perfect. Just gotta make sure I'm speaking up a little bit more. Obviously, I can't be like too loud because it's almost 2 in the morning. But I want to try to finish up this game tonight. So, hello everyone, Spartan Spartan 107 here. We are back in the Outer Worlds. Also, I'm like really annoyed because I went and just looked it up real quick, and it turns out that the level cap is in fact 36. So, kind of bugs me. Alright, but yeah, Nova Burst isn't as good as Medal of Honor, so. But Short Circuit is better than Infested Flesh again. So we'll go ahead and put that there. Alright, real quick before we move.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering these?
Fucking lights sparking. Was it the cows? Alright, but real quick, I want to see if I can just tinker with Finn's Force real quick. Alright, can't do any more right now. But I just wanted to make it a little bit better. Alright, we have completed every single quest in the game so far, including DLC shit. The only thing that we... actually, we botched 3 things, I guess. Yeah, we botched these 3. But that's fine. We're at the end game now. Let's get this done. So that way, my friend Luke can stop complaining about the fact that I haven't started the Halo-thon. If I can at least make a little bit more room in my schedule, then I can do Halo-thon with him. Alright, actually I just noticed my carrying capacity is almost at 270, so... Alright, let's make sure that everybody's wearing, like, the best stuff. Not that I'm necessarily going to be bringing along everybody anyways. Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to be bringing along Ellie, I'm like, alright, I'll give her that kind of handgun, so that way she has the best. Right, forgot to make sure armor. Honor Guard's uniform. Apparently we got that, and that's a thing. Alright, why not? Also, yeah, I don't know why I just randomly get. Well, she asked for it. That's why I gave it to her. And I already gave her Thunderclap because I was like, yeah, she's gonna totally want that. There, it's much closer to the weapon you normally use, too. Alright, now we'll just scrap everything else we're not going to use and quickly drop off, Alright, then let's drop off some other shit. Since I haven't used the science weapons, they aren't going to be important to bring along, so let's drop off the ones I got. Uh-oh, looks like you may have misplaced your discrepancy amplifier. You need this highly scientific device to find and analyze evidence regarding Halcyon Helen's murder in Eridanos. I already completed that, so... that's why I'm putting it away. No point in carrying... something I'm not going to use. Alright. Time to end this. To assault the labyrinth on Tartarus and determine the fate of the Halcyon colony. Save mode. Saves made after this point can only finish the main story on Tartarus. Side quests and downloadable content such as Peril on Gorgon or Murder on Eridanos will be unavailable for any save mode made beyond this point. If there's anything you want to do before you enter the prison, do it now before you cross the point of no return. Would you like to continue? Yes, because I did everything. Yeah, we'll make a save real quick.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this
Achievement,
time.
hard time. Landed on Tartarus. Know anything useful about Tartarus?
Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return.
You promise not to leave without me.
I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 876,541,652 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed.
What the hell's with you people and landing violations?
I'm sorry, you people? Did you just cast a generalization on upstanding UDL employees? That's a fine of 200 bits.
The fuck?
You're up to 5,708, not including the cost of your execution and the disposal of your remains, which will be assessed posthumously.
Hey, hold up. How do I know you're a real officer under that helmet? Show me your biometric ID.
All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the ID of a productive, law-abiding employee so you can see what one looks like before you die. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance?
Alright, I'll see you again later, Ada.
I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return.
Alright, but what if you want to know that I'm still alive?
I'll lock up behind you.
Good idea. Alright, let's... Nope, shit! No, the wrong people. I meant to press A to unequip them, and I pressed X on accident to go in. Wanted to bring along Ellie, because healing's gonna be necessary, and Sam, because I haven't used Sam enough. And plus, I brought along frickin' Vicar Max and Felix for, you know, Gorgon and Nyoka and Parvati for... Iridanos. Well, this is gonna be awkward. Alright, let's do this right. There we go. We're bringing along Ellie and Sam. Alright, let's get a move on.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I'm breathing. Push on, Margot!
Haha. Ah, crap. Laptop's gonna need to be plugged in. Yeah, because I forgot what Sam did. Hey, why? Shit. Okay, I better stop using that gun then. Because I guess the Groundbreaker came to help me out.
Citation assessment. The labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification. Easy peasy.
Getting in's one thing. Let's just hope we're able to get out again.
Yeah, that's gonna be the question. Still, Groundbreaker definitely didn't like the fact that I accidentally killed one of their guys.
Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command not received.
Yeah, Sam, we're gonna wait. I notice this guy's gonna fail at any moment.
Remember not to take breaks on company time.
Hold it right! Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Are you talking while on shift?
Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please.
Everyone gets one mistake, just don't do it again.
Whew. Thank you.
That's a sealed way. We gotta find the right way. Ooh, elevator. Okay, gotta hurry. Need to get on it before it gets off, before my thing turns off again. So I'd rather not have to fight if I can avoid it. Not to say I don't have the bullets or whatever for a fight. Oh, so if the stream turns out to be less than an hour, I will go like, I probably should have finished this up last time then. Don't need all that supplies, but I went and took it anyways. Hmm. Alright, let's move quickly. Not cause any trouble. I wonder if I would have had to go guns blazing if I didn't get that soldier's ID. Come on. Just a little bit longer. Fuck you.
Dirt alert! Dirt alert!
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
Holy shit, we got people actually coming in. Yeah, fucking iconoclast now?
Resuming passive mode.
Cool, disguise is back on. Right, sprinting makes this guys get rid of faster. Forgot about that. Thought for a moment the guy was cowering in fear.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
I was hired to test your security procedures. Congratulations, you passed.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, sir.
I'll be sure to pass this on to your... No, actually, you know what? Thank you for your vigilant service. Carry on.
Yes, sir. Looking good.
Just because I'm... Yeah, I figured as much.
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. Ah, and the wayward doctor. Are you about done with your escapades? We have faces that need lifting, after all.
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
And... oh, I had heard you were dragging around a repurposed janitorial mechanical? My staff jokes that it's because you're a walking pile of refuse.
Interactive database updated. The unique organic substance labeled Chairman has been classified as filth, imminent for incineration.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
Chairman Rockwell, I presume.
My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
Yeah, please. Phineas would rather die than cooperate.
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle.
Yeah, and that crackpot is trying to save the frozen colonists you gave up on.
Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
At least that means someone's recognizing our work.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't have to if you'd be more cooperative about all this.
Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton dissent. We don't need your help.
Well, I'm gonna get to your administration's cooperation one way or another.
You are a captain of action. I'll give you that. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Good. Maybe some good can come out of you after all. The fuck? Well, it's everything else is just wanting me to die. What? Okay, you know what? Fuck Chairman Rockwell, I don't give a shit. I'm not even gonna try to fight him right now, guys. Just... why? I only attacked the other guys because they attacked me first. We need to attack Chairman Rockwell.
Alright, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there! Fight!
Alright, MSI, why are you trying to get yourself skilled right now? In fact, how is it I got my disguise back after all that?
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain-out remover. It's ruthless on residual blood splash.
Hope you're right about this, Captain.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
You sure love talking. Do they pay you by the word?
Typical. Running your mouth in the middle of a crisis. It's almost as if you delight in chaos. I should have dealt with you a long time ago. You were always too dangerous to leave unchecked.
Yeah, can we hurry it along? I've got a colony to save.
Leaving you alive was my greatest mistake. But it is a mistake I intend to correct. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation, I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right.
Yeah, don't test me, Sophia. It's bad for your health.
I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloodier place because of you. I take no pleasure in this, you know. I simply have no other option. Leaving you alive is too great a risk. Goodbye, Captain.
Yeah, I'm rescuing Phineas, and I'm going through you if I have to.
I had a feeling you'd say that. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically, or something.
Great. I suddenly have more people, you know, popping up to help me, I'm gonna switch off this weapon.
Activated.
Holy shit, Sam. Why haven't I used you enough? Hibernation chamber key, yeah, definitely useful. Definitely go for more energy rounds. No, I kind of wonder if the rest of the drones just died because Ram died. Ooh, locking him up in the presidential suite, are we?
Why won't you just die?
You know what? Well, that was anticlimactic. Gosh damn, Sam.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Yeah, are you alright? What did they do to you?
I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Great, I was just about to pop open some drinks and celebrate.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Guess I'll just see if I have any questions I can
help
answer
however
and ask.
I can.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
How do you know all this?
I heard it from Akande herself. She tried to pressure me into joining her side, you see. Tried to make me realize that all hope is lost, and that we are alone. She was half right. We are alone, and we're going to have to fend for ourselves, because there's no telling what's happened to Earth.
And you mentioned a frigate disappearing.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
And you said there haven't been any new messages from Earth.
Yes, Akande mentioned as much. Earth hasn't sent us a single message in 3 years. No one knows why. Akande had kept the truth to herself, perhaps with good reason. Can you imagine what would have happened if word got out? We'd have utter pandemonium.
Yeah, but there's something else. I know about the other colonists, Phineas.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
Well, better late than never, I guess.
I'm not asking you to forgive me. Law knows I won't forgive myself, but I'm going to try to set things right. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
Nope, I don't have any more questions. We've got work to do.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Okay, they require me to be the leader. Alright, well, somebody has to run this colony. I'm the only competent person left.
You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
Lifetime employment program ruined. Chaos and Tartarus leaves board in disarray. Anarchists destroy a utopian future. Alright, achievement unlocked. The Outer Worlds.
Teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided a convenient source of fertilizer. As for Reed Thompson, it was said that he lasted exactly 2 days outside the walls of Edgewater. Years later, a marauder was found in possession of his hat. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. Olivia and Minnie Ambrose worked together to cure the marauders Adrena Time had created. Through their partnership as scientist and administrator, they discovered the harmony that had eluded them as mother and daughter. And through years of patience and effort, they discovered a means to wean Halcyon from the scourge of Adrena Time. Their work eventually allowed Wells and his scientists to treat many of Halcyon's marauders. As their addiction waned, the colonists who had lived for so long under the thrall of Adrena Time returned to their communities and loved ones, and joined in the effort to save Halcyon. In spite of everything, the Gorgon asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. With the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life: Byzantine culture and her sister Belinda. In the face of this new reality, she struggled to find a direction for her life. The colony had moved on from Halcyon Helen and would require new heroes in the years to come. And so Ruth Bellamy decided it was time to exit stage left. she quietly disappeared from public view. The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered Slugs transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds, dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios, and, of course, how to look good doing both. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Due to the board's dissolution, many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path. Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity. The Prophet was not among the bodies.
Uh-oh.
Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe.
Oh, crap.
Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name. And in no time, she was a fixture in the groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail, or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past, and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
And that's the end of the game. Honestly, if I knew it was going to be there, I would have just finished it up last time I streamed. But I mean, like an hour-long stream going straight to YouTube, that's not bad. That just means I'll be able to do other games unimpeded now. Because this game has been something I needed to finish a while ago too, and I didn't. Like, I stopped after I started the Gorgon DLC, and I didn't get back to it for a long while, especially since around the time I think I was moving, so that didn't help matters. But yeah, I wanted to try to finish this up and try to finish up a bunch of other games. I need to kind of go back to Destiny 2 to try to finish, or not finish, to, you know, do the new season, because I haven't even started the new season yet. I kind of technically didn't finish the previous season because there was one more mission. I finished up Elden Ring recently, so that's good. Still in the middle of my Assassin's Creed-a-thon. I gotta get started on the Mythology trilogy there, the, you know, Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla. And then follow that up with Watch Dogs Legion, then by that point, Assassin's Creed Mirage will probably be long out for a while. I forget if it's supposed to be on current-gen consoles, so otherwise I'll have to just keep saving up money and hoping I'll have enough one month in order to get an Xbox Series X, so I can play that. But we'll have to see. But yeah, I also want to get started on another marathon of games, because one has just been taking too long. Technically two, I guess, because Assassin's Creed was also taking too long, but like, trying to do Mass Effect 3 with my friends has become much more difficult as of late, because I only really have 2 days off per week, and on those 2 days, my friends end up having D&D, so it doesn't work out. That's why that playthrough's been progressively being updated slowly. KT for saying yes, okay. For a lifetime supply of salt from Kevsky? That's really funny. Robert for being incredibly patient. That was from Tim Kane. I think he was like part of Fallout 2. Alright, but yeah, I do have to get to that. We'll have to, you know, make time for that, and I will probably go ahead and just start the Halo-thon. And honestly, I'm kind of considering what would it be like if I just killed everyone in Halcyon. What would happen then, if that's a thing? I know that someone ended the game in 12 minutes one time. I just don't know how they did it. I would love to figure that out. Like, I should look it up at one point. Because obviously I didn't when I first started, because I just wanted to get through this. But it would be cool to figure out, yeah, how'd they do that? Yeah, that's, Outer Worlds. Incredibly average character beating an incredibly average game. I think it was a good game. I mean, I did just say it was incredibly average, but it's a good game. It was pretty interesting. I did try to, like, be more neutral with most of my choices until the end there. And I think I did a good job, so... yeah, it was fun. I also thought that trying to do the final mission would have taken a little bit longer. Because again, like I said, the stream's literally only an hour. So... but yeah, fun game. I think I did a really good job. And I hope that everyone who watched it enjoyed it. Hoping that, you know, when Outer Worlds 2 comes out, because I know that's going to be, when that's in the middle of development, that it ends up doing more awesome stuff. So I guess we'll have to see. Maybe I could have been, like, more specific with my build, because again, I was fairly average with myself. I don't want it to pause again, because the screen went black for a moment because of how long it's been by itself. All I know is I made myself fucking invincible at one point for being able to gain health back with melee kills and melee hits. And that's probably how I do a kill everyone in Halcyon playthrough. Even if I don't do that on stream, just to do it in general would be fun. Because I want to see just how many people I can kill. I'd probably go on Supernova difficulty as well, just to see if, I mean, just how much of a challenge it is. Just killing everyone. Wouldn't that be fun? Nah, I just kid. I don't necessarily like killing everyone in games, but, like, sometimes I do want to try it. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. The more cowboy-centric music. It would be cool to try to do a Mandalorian playthrough as well. Just wear armor all the time. This is the way. I'm just messaging a friend because he messaged while I was in the middle of everything, and we've got credits and whatnot. So unless I go back to Twitch and see that someone commented, and which no one has, and there was someone watching for a little bit. Apparently Spider-Man's been spotted in France. You just see this guy in a Spider-Man costume stepping on top of a cop car. What actually is going on in France right now? I'm guessing it's something that's not good. Alright, but also, why is it that no one's bothered to play the DLCs? Oh, so that sounds like an interesting manga. It's apparently ending soon. Just went and sent like a long message to my friend because he's going through a rough time right now, and I was just mentioning some rough nonsense that happened with me at work recently. So, okay, you know what? I'll go ahead and explain the story too, for anyone who's still watching on YouTube and this gets uploaded. If you guys are watching, just know that in real life, when I'm out in public, I do, for the most part, like to wear masks. Like, sometimes I won't, but most of the time I do. And I have a few reasons for doing that. One being that my mother is immunocompromised. You know, like, she gets sick very easily nowadays, even before COVID. I mean, you know, COVID's basically wrapped up for the most part. There's still cases, obviously, but it's not pandemic levels of, yes, we know. It's not pandemic levels of terrifying, but there are still cases and whatnot. I don't necessarily wear the mask because of that. I just wear the mask because I don't want to get sick in general. Again, you guys can have opinions, or you can state sources citing both sides of the argument of whether or not masks work. I don't care, because I have another reason why I like to wear masks out in public. It's much easier for me since I am socially awkward. I don't really like to interact in social situations outside of, you know, the home and whatnot, so being out in public with a mask is a bit more comfortable for me, you know? Especially since that means that people that, you know, are just toxic or rude or whatever, they don't need to see my face. On Friday, I ended up having a bad day at work because the person I was supposed to be working with for the night ended up not even bothering calling in and didn't bother showing up, and they didn't show up all weekend. They were scheduled to be with me all weekend, and they didn't show up on Friday when I needed them. They didn't show up on Saturday when my coworker and I needed them, and they didn't show up today either, or, you know, yesterday if you want to be technical, since it's Monday morning at 3 a.m. right now. So on Friday, though, a customer comes in. You know, I take care of everything. He says absolutely nothing to me until after he's paid for all of his stuff, and he tells me to take off my fucking mask. And I just lost my shit there and told him to fuck off, because at that point, I had just been so annoyed. And then he shows up the next day and goes like, "Remember me?" After his friend had already paid for all their shit, including, you know, something that required me to scan his ID for, so. And I just did not want to talk to him at that point. I just was silent. I didn't say anything else because I didn't want to give him any satisfaction. I didn't want to talk to him. I wanted him to get the fuck out of the store, and I didn't want to see his face again. Unfortunately, he didn't show up today at work, so I wasn't gonna get mad at that. But still, if you guys see someone in public, they're wearing a mask, like, if you want to ask, why do you wear a mask? It's fine. If you want to be like trying to say, you know, masks don't work, right? You can shut up. They might not wear masks just because of, you know, they don't want to get sick. Maybe they just don't want to interact with you. You ever thought of that? I hope that you think of that now that you listen to this, you know, little mini rant. But yeah, If you see a person wearing a mask in public, just don't worry about it, okay? If you want to know if they're sick or if they're worried about getting sick, then sure, just ask politely, and then once they tell you, you know, leave it alone. But if you don't believe that masks work, it's kind of like religion. You can believe or not believe, just don't go trying to spread it around, or trying to force it, I should say. You should just be open to explaining it when people are curious and whatnot. Just don't go forcing it on people, because otherwise you're going to drive people away, you're going to get people that hate you, and I really just want to break that guy's hand if he ever shows up again and tries to get physical with me about me wearing a mask, because I just don't want to interact with him. That's really the whole point of me wearing a mask. But yeah, it wasn't much of a problem in the outer world since I was wearing a helmet most of the time, wasn't I? Alright. I'm done holding you guys up if you're still watching this video. If you are still watching this video, thank you. But that's the end of the Outer Worlds. Probably not going to stream it again on Twitch/YouTube. But it was fun to play. I'm glad I beat the game. I don't remember if Trevor's beaten it. I think I need to make him beat it, though. If he hasn't. He's got a lot of stuff he has to continue streaming as well, because he also wants to do an Assassin's Creed-a-thon. But he needs to finish up Deus Ex. He needs to finish up... I think he was doing a Fallout 4 playthrough on Twitch. He needs to finish up a lot of stuff. So yeah. I'm just glad I finished up this. I'm going to try to do more Mass Effect soon. I'm going to try to get Assassin's Creed Origins started soon. And I'm going to be doing a Halo-thon challenge for myself, / my friends when I can invite them, which is going to start with Halo Wars. And I'm going to be playing that for the first time on Legendary difficulty, which, good luck to me. If I can, I'm going to get some co-commentary from Lukey Poo, because I know he's going to want to get going with that. I hope he can also join me for some more Destiny too, because I gotta keep doing that. And otherwise, I'm going to try to also get some tips from my brother Xavier, because he's played Halo Wars a lot more than me, so he's probably going to be able to help me. I don't really like real-time strategy games, but I'm going to play Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2 at least to be Halo-thon. I'm not sure about Spartan Assault yet, but I know that's another one. So I'm going to have, like, Chase and Luke, when they're both in a stream together with me, just argue the benefits or detriments of playing that game, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, look forward to that. So if you guys enjoyed, be sure to do the usual accolades, like, comment, share, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Twitch if you haven't already, and if you didn't like this, it's not going to make that much of a difference to me. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out, Spartans.